let's start that again, and I'll turn off the mute. So welcome everybody to the Advanced Dungeons and Dynamics 365 Bare Bones Configuration Guide live stream, where we're configuring Dynamics 365 from the ground up, going out and using a fun example of setting up a company in the Dungeon and Dragon sort of scenario in the City of Splendor's Waterdeep. So what we've been doing over the past couple of episodes, or past 27 episodes now, is we've been building up the company, and we've got all the way up to the accounts receivable. And in the previous couple of live streams, what we've been doing is we've been configuring customers and setting up the customers. And the last live stream, I showed how you can import in customers and use some of the tools. So what we're going to do is we're finished with the customers, or the customer setup for now. And what we're going to do is we're going to start doing the more important stuff. We're going to start invoicing them, and we're going to learn how to create free text invoices and see how those interact with the system. So fingers crossed everything's set up. I haven't tested this in this lab, so let's get going. Now, what we're using for this is we've got our lab environment that we've been setting up. And let me put my face in there so you can see me. So what we're doing is we're using our lab environment, and this is a blank environment of Dynamics 365. And up until this point, we've been going out and configuring a lot of things in here. So let me find my mouse. So for example, if we go out and if we look at our customers, then what we'll see is we've got some customers set up here in the system that we've been building up over time, and we're sort of fleshing those customers out. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to, we're moving on to the third module within accounts receivable. So again, we've gone through the base setup, the organization, the general ledger, cash and bank management, and now we're on accounts receivable. And we're going to go out and start looking at how you can start creating invoices. We're probably going to get through all of this module today. It's not a big one, and maybe touch on collections as well. But what we're going to do is, for those of you who haven't seen these guides, then what I've got is I've got really a step-by-step contiguous guide on the entire setup for Dynamics. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with a free text invoice, and we'll talk about the free text invoice along the way. And we're going to go out and we're going to, let me just make this. We're going to go out and we're going to just charge one of our customers some revenue and get that on the books so that we can start receiving that. Just taking a little drink of coffee as we go along. So let's look at that, and let's return back to the surface and see what we're doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the accounts receivable, and we're going to go into the invoices, and we're going to open we're going to go into the free text invoices. Now, there's going to be other types of invoices that we create, especially when we start selling things within sales. And for those will become customer invoices, and they're going to be linked back to products, and they're going to have a lot more detail on them. The free text invoices are more for just the miscellaneous invoices that we may be receiving, and some of these could be service charges that we're exerting on customers, or we could do all of our business through a free text invoice if we wanted to, if we didn't want to just get out of the accounts receivable area. Now, I'm accessing this through the menu, and I did that because I forget whether it was all free text invoices or free text invoices. But just a reminder that when we're here in the UI, then what we can do is we can go out and we can just do a search as well, and we can find the menu items through the menu search feature. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to open up that this one facility or this one page. So all we're going to do here is we're going to be able to see all of our invoices that are here, but what I want to do is I want to create a new invoice. So this is our base invoice format that we're working through. And what we're going to do is we're going to create an invoice for a customer. So we're just going to choose from our customer list who we want the invoice to be for. So we're going to get this for Miss Abherk, that as one of our customers. It's automatically filling in a lot of the information that we set up prior to this on the customer account. So we know her address that's here. Also, it's defaulted in the method of payment here as well, and then the terms, and then any cash discounts. So all of this payment information that we've already set up has been configured for us. Now I can go out and I can change things like the invoice date. I can go out and change the due date. I can also change the currency. So if I wanted this to be sold in Faerûnian gold pieces rather than the Faerûn standard dollars, so we can just go and make this change here within the invoice. If I wanted to change the payment, then I could say that I could actually change this and say I want this paid within a day, and I can also give an incentive here if I want to, and this would be maybe 10% if paid within a day. Now, if I close this down here, then the next area that we're managing is we need to go out and say, what are we invoicing for? Now, we don't have any products right now, so what we're going to do is we're going to need to specify the information on the invoice. And this is a difference between an invoice and or a customer invoice and a free text invoice. The free text invoice doesn't have a product. What we're doing is we're going directly to the main account that we're working in. So this is going to be for miscellaneous services, and then we're going to choose the main account that this is for. And so let's have a look. Let's do a search. And this is actually something, a trick that I've been using Dynamics for like forever. And I just saw someone using this the other day. Because what I normally do is if I'm going to look for services, then I can just do a search, and we're not going to see any main accounts popping up. So, but if I look for star services, and I don't need to put the asterisk at the end of this, then what we're going to see is we're going to see anything with, in this case, services somewhere in the text. So this is my new favorite search feature. Just put the asterisk or the star before whatever you're searching for, and it will find it for you. So we're going to choose Guild Services Income, and then we're going to say what the amount is. So the unit, we're going to have one. We could say that this is 1,000. We're charging 1,000 gold pieces for this. Or what we can do is we can just set the amount, and then it's not going to do the calculation. Or say, for example, if we're doing 4 hours of service and our base rate is, let's say, 500 gold pieces, then that's going to give us our amount. So it's automatically going to do all of the calculation for us as we go through. So this is really all we need to do in order to create our invoice. So now we've got our invoice created. We can look at some of the other information. We can see it's not posted, and we can see the currency conversion rates that are here. So this is, if we want to do the math, then that was $2,000. So we're really not charging much for our services. I think it's 12 gold pieces per Faerûn standard dollar. So I won't even try to do the math with the decimal in there. So we've gone out and we've created this, and we've created our invoice. So now what we want to do is we want to post this invoice. So we could go out and we could create as many of these invoices as we want. And but until we post them, then it doesn't become a real invoice, or we can actually make changes to it. We can delete it. We can make adjustments. Once it's posted, then the number of options that we can do to maintain this becomes severely diminished, because we're posting it and we're saying this is a valid invoice that we're using. So what we want to do is we want to post this in the system. So I'm going to post this, and I'm going to print this. Let's check the print option here, and let's leave it just at that. And if we look at the printer setup, this is a proper invoice. Let's print this. Let's post this. So what this is going to do is this is going to go out and it's going to finalize the invoice. It's going to create all the postings, which we can go out and have a look at in just a second, and make adjustments. Oh, what did that say? Okay, so this is what this has done is this has failed in the posting, which is good, because this is what it should do. Because we've got dimensions here, then we haven't completed all of the details. So let's have a look here. Let's see if we can fix this. Okay, so what we need to do is we've got our amount here, and we need to code it to our business unit, department, and cost center. So that's what the error is that's popped up. So the business unit is going to be the Waterdeep Trading Company. The department is going to be, let's post that to operations, and the cost center is going to be, let's choose logistics for now. And so what we've now done is we've completely coded our posting, or our invoice. So let's try once more. So let's get rid of these errors and post it. Now let's see. Must select a value in the department field. Did I change that? So let's go back and have a look. So I think what it's going to here. Let's just see. We post it once more, and we'll see if we can debug this and work out what the problem is. Okay, so I'm going to try something different here. I'm going to specify some parameters here for the cost center. We'll try once more. So it's still giving us an error. Combination. Okay, so what it's actually saying is the department is not allowed. So let's go to retail. Let's try that. Cost center 101 is not allowed for that account, and so let's try this. Let's look. Main account, 1200. So let's go through. So the blank account is not allowed for the department. Blank account, so the business unit is blank. And let's go through. You know what? I'm going to fix this. And let's make an executive decision on our account structures. So my account was 4,000. So what I'm doing here is let's just save this, because this is sort of slowing me down. So let's edit this. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to change these. I'm going to activate these account structures. So it might have been a little bit too clever, and I'm just not that as conscientious of a person when it comes to making sure that my account codes are correct. So we're going to go back here to the accounts receivable and to all free text invoices. And I'm going to go into my invoice, and let's try to post this now. And this looks like it's working better. And so now what we're going to do is, and people, this is live, this is not pre-recorded. Well, it may be pre-recorded, but what we're going to do is we're going to say, we're going to print this out. And how do we print this? Do we print this to screen or to the printer or email? Now, maybe we'll talk about the print configurations and the printer later on, but what I want to do is I just want to go out and print this to the screen. Now, just as a side note, what you can do is when we can go out and we can configure these so that they automatically post to wherever we want. So we could automatically have this being emailed out to a customer, and we can do that through print management. And there's a trick where we can go out and create we can tell it that I want to send this invoice directly out to the email account that's actually on the customer account, and we can use tags for that. So this is now printing, and it's creating the report for us. And it's maybe the first time that I've used the reporting services here to go out and print this. So this is going to run, and then we should get the invoice get created in just a couple of seconds. So now, while that's happening, okay, so if everything goes well, then we should actually have a pretty invoice that we can use. And then, because this is the first time, I'm pretty sure that we'll also have the Waterdeep Trading Company logo embedded directly in the reporting services report as we run this. So let's leave that for now, and we'll swap back between these and check I did that. Let's see what that did. So that posted the invoice, and gave me a couple of errors along the way. Now let's go out and let's stop there just for now. And what I'm going to do is we'll come back to the invoice in just a second. But the next item that I want to talk about is how we can go out and create invoices another way. So what we can do is, if I look at my next step, then what we can do is we can go and create invoices or free text invoices directly from the customer accounts. So this is slightly different, but so rather than just going into the free text invoice area and saying I want to create an invoice and then specifying the customer, if we're on the customer account, then we can go out and create a free text invoice directly from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to return back, and I'm in the customers area, and say, for example, I want to create an invoice for the yawning portal. Then I can go into the invoice and I can say I want to create a new free text invoice, and it's going to automatically populate this information for me. So as you can see, if we're already inside the customer record and we're doing maintenance there, then we can go and maintain that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do exactly the same thing as we did before. We're going to go out and choose the magical services. This one is for 5 hours or 500 items, but we're going to change this again to gold pieces so that we do all the currency conversion. And then if I want to go and distribute the amounts, we don't. Let's change that. If we want to, and notice here that's changed the amount because I went from Faerûnian standard dollars to Faerûnian gold pieces. So this is actually 198 gold pieces that we're charging, which isn't a lot. But this is, notice I don't necessarily need to go out and specify let me go into here. Really need another group here instead of just marketing. So maybe I'll go out and set that up, but I digress. So the interesting thing is here it's gone out, and notice that it changed the unit price down to 39.68. So it was 500 Faerûnian standard dollars because I changed the gold pieces and I was smart enough to change it and reconcile it back down. And then I can say that this is a cash payment for the yawning portal. We don't have any invoice information configured for them, and then we're not going to give them any discount for paying this. So I'm going to finish this and post this. And let's not print the invoice right now. I'll try creating this once more and see what the error is. But what this is now doing is now we've got our second invoice created. So if I go back to all of my free text invoices, then now we're going to see our two invoices that we've got created here for Ms. Desura and the yawning portal, and we can go out and we can maintain these. Also, what I can do is let's try this once more. It may fail, but what we can do is we can also reprint these invoices. So I'm just going to try to print a copy of this, and we'll see if it prints. If not, I'll go back and I think the problem is that I haven't deployed out the invoices here in this other documents in this environment, so we'll stop there and we won't fuss with it. But trust me, you can go out and you can print these invoices. Now the final area, because we had that snafu with the GL accounts, then we're not going to get to the credit management. But what I'm going to do for the final step today is I'm going to show you how you can go out and you can create templates for the invoices. So if this is an invoice that we're using over and over and over again, then what we can do is we can go out and we can create this as a template, and then it will automatically fill in all the information for us. So if we've got a recurring invoice that we're sending to a customer, then we can templatize it and use that within the system. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out and create from an existing template a new template, and let me go and copy this, and we're going to go out and save that away and then use it. So I'm coming back here to my environment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my invoice. And over here in the new option, we've got these two options. We can say I want to create a new invoice from a template. Or what I can do is I can save a template. And I'm going to give this a name. And this is give it a description here, and all that's done is that's gone out and it's saved this template so that we don't and saved all the information away for us. So now what I can do is if I'm here on the free text invoice, then I could say I want to create a new one from a template, and I'm going to use my services invoice, and I can choose any of the customers that I want here. So let's choose the Fiery Dragon. And then I'm going to use, I can say, what do I use the defaults from? Do I default in the cash discount and the payment terms from the free text invoice or from the customer account? Let's default it in from the customer account. So now we've got our new invoice for Faerûnian standard dollars, which I think is what, and then it's $500 and for 4 hours, which gives us $2,000. I can say that this is going to be a cash payment, and maybe we give them a 10% discount if they pay within 1 day. And I can go out and I can post this again. And I'm not going to print this, and I'm just going to create it. So now we've gone out and we've created a couple of invoices in the system that we can go out and look at and manage. Now, I think also if I go out and if I look at the accounting that's associated with this, then we're going to see all of the debits and credits that are associated with this invoice. We can look at the distribution of the amounts, which is what I've been going out and changing as I go out and adjust and post the invoices. So this is the coding that we use on the invoice. But I've now gone out and have our 3 invoices here that we can start receiving cash against. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop there, because that, if I look at my documentation, that's actually the end of this module. So it was a really quick module just showing how you can go out and invoice this. But we can go out and we can see this. Maybe in the next live stream, what we'll do is I'll come back and I should have deployed out all the invoices in this environment, or the reports, and we'll see the invoice being created. So that should be pretty good to do. So let's what we're going to do is we're going to close off here. We're sort of at the 30-minute mark, which is where I've been trying to be. And throughout this this live stream or this session, what we've done is really just started to introduce invoicing into the system. Now we can do a lot more within the invoices, and we will as we go further on, especially when we get to the sales side, where we're going to create more detailed invoices that have products associated with them and other default information associated with them as well. But for now, we're just going to stop here. We've created some invoices, and that's good. In the next episode or the next live stream, what we're going to do is we're going to change gears. We're going to look at collections, and we're going to look at how we can create aging buckets and work through the collections and use some of the collections workbench, and we'll see how far we can go there. So with that said, we're going to finish off today and let you get back to your work, and or possibly if you're looking at this after the fact, then you'll go out and you'll see more of these live streams and just get completely engrossed in them. So with that said, we'll stop and have a nice day, everybody.